Hey, Commanders fans, tune in because we've got some very important information coming and you need to know everything. Here on the channel, you'll find all the latest news about our team with breaking news and everything a true Commanders fan needs to know. So, first of all, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell because here you'll receive everything firsthand and never be out of date. Oh, and leave your like right now to strengthen this incredible community and show that Commanders fans are always there. No more ado, hang in there, because today's news is unmissable. Now, let's get straight to the point. Commanders Sam Cosmi returns to practice. The Commanders may be poised to bring back a standout offensive lineman. The team announced Wednesday that right guard Sam Cosmi has returned to practice. Washington will have 21 days to activate him from injured reserve. While Cosmi is unlikely to play this week against the Chargers, it's encouraging that the 26-year-old has recovered so quickly from a serious injury. Cosmi tore the anterior cruciate ligament in his right knee in the divisional round victory over the Lions last January, leaving him unavailable for the NFC Championship game loss to the Eagles and the Commanders' first 4 games this season. The Commanders have used Nick Allegretti and Andrew Wiley at right guard this year. Cosmi will return to that position if he can return within the next 3 weeks. Former tackle Cosmi signed a 4-year, $74 million contract extension with the Commanders just days before the start of the 2024 season. It was the first significant extension granted by General Manager Adam Peters. Cosmi, who arrived in Washington as a second-round pick in the 2021 draft, started all 17 regular season games for the second consecutive year. He was an integral part of the offensive line that helped quarterback Jaden Daniels have one of the best rookie seasons in league history. The Commanders, led by Daniels, emerged as surprise contenders last year. However, thanks in part to injuries, they have had a mediocre start to the season, finishing 2-2. Daniels has missed 2 consecutive games with a knee injury, though he appears likely to return to action this week. He should be among the beneficiaries if Cosmi sees action this season. Cosmi's return could also help an already formidable rushing attack, which ranks second in the NFL with 154.5 rushing yards per game. Breaking news: $52 million star could be in trade. Although the Buffalo Bills are a postseason contender again this year, they could put veteran Dawson Knox on the trade block. According to one analyst, he believes there's a chance the Bills will trade Knox at some point due to the emergence of rookie tight end Jackson Hawes. The Bills already have one of the best tight ends in Dalton Kincaid, so such a trade would only make sense at the right price. The same source suggested the Bills should trade Knox to teams like the Falcons or Panthers, but there are plenty of better suitors out there for him if Buffalo wants to move on from Knox. Originally selected in the 3rd round of the 2019 NFL Draft, the former Ole Miss player has become one of Josh Allen's favorite targets in the passing attack through 2023. After Kincaid was drafted 2 off-seasons ago, Knox has become a secondary option in this offense, although he still receives some attention. However, Hawes could be the latest Bill to take over his backup duties if the Bills decide to part ways with Knox. There has been no suggestion from the Bills' front office that the team wants to move on without Knox, but he is entering the final year of his contract next season. It will be interesting to see what happens here, but here are some potential suitors for the former 2022 Pro Bowler should they generate trade interest in Knox. Breaking news: $52 million star Dawson Knox could be in negotiations. Potential upcoming teams: Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders are building one of the oldest teams in the league to maximize quarterback Jaden Daniels' rookie contract. With Zach Ertz recently signed to a 1-year deal, he could retire after the 2025 regular season. Backup tight end Ben Sinnott, who is in his 2nd year, still needs to prove he can take over after Ertz's retirement. This means the Commanders are likely looking for another formidable pass catcher to replace Ertz, and that could be Knox. While a trade may not happen anytime soon, it's something to keep an eye on, as the Commanders will continue to shore up their offense and defense with veteran talent that could put them in the best position to win a Super Bowl. Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, The Philadelphia Eagles were trying to move on without Dallas Goedert and start fresh this season. Ultimately, the Eagles retained Goedert on a reduced contract, but a trade is still possible, especially if Jalen Hurts isn't utilizing the passing attack as much as evidenced by A.J. Brown's recent frustrations. While the running game, special teams, and defense have kept this group in every contest since their 4-0 start, they need to improve their receiving unit after Goedert. Commanders could trade for $28 million on running back. The Washington Commanders have been bitten by the injury bug, and it's not just a love bite. If no one goes on injured reserve after the Commanders' Week 5 matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers, the team will have tied the number of games played with the number of players placed on injured reserve since the start of the regular season. And these aren't just any players, they're starters and key contributors. Week 2 began with the losses of defensive end Dietrich Wise Jr. and running back Austin Ekeler for the season, and cornerback Jonathan Jones to IR, who is expected to return at some point for the Commanders. Each of these injuries left holes that needed filling and left Washington with questions about who would fill the missing players. For Ekeler, so far it's been a combination of running backs, but Sports Illustrated believes it has an answer that's at least slightly better than the current roster usage of players like Tennessee Titans running back Tony Pollard. The case for a trade. It's hard to see the Commanders giving up more draft picks after the Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil trades. But Washington needs a running back after trading Brian Robinson Jr. to San Francisco and losing Austin Ekeler to injury this season. SI reports. Pollard, 28, could form a strong backfield with rookie Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Pollard has rushed 68 times for 261 yards and 1 touchdown this season. Playing for the struggling Titans, Pollard's yards per carry average of 3.8 is the worst of his career so far, but it's respectable considering what he has on the field. However, the Commanders' running back, who has gained the most attention since Ekeler's injury, is Chris Rodriguez Jr., who has started the last 2 games and is averaging 5.4 yards per carry with 18 carries for 98 yards over those 2 games. Krosky-Merritt, meanwhile, is averaging 5.9 yards per carry with 29 carries, producing 172 yards and 2 touchdowns in 4 games so far in his rookie season. And don't forget veteran Jeremy McNichols, who is averaging 10.6 yards per carry on his 10 touches this year, though 60 of those came on a single run against the Las Vegas Raiders in Week 3. Still, averaging 5.1 yards per carry on top of that is still very good, and we'd argue this isn't the running back group Washington should turn to if it's looking to invest more draft capital in the 2025 draft. Instead, we'd target a top defender for the Commanders, especially after pectoral injuries suffered by defensive end Javonte Jean-Baptiste landed him on injured reserve just 2 weeks after seeing significant playing time following Wise's injury in Week 2.